Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And as I said earlier on, we're going to have a conversation about the mining sector in the Republic of Ghana. And it's a conversation we'll have at 9:30 a.m. every Thursday morning. And of course, Tuesdays at 3 p.m., we'll have the same conversation on original 91.9 FM. Every Tuesday, 3 to 4 p.m. Now, with me on the show this morning is Mr. Martin Kweku Ayisi, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission of this Republic. Good morning, Mr. Ayisi.
Morning.
How are you?
It's all right. We're managing, small.
You're managing?
Yeah.
Minerals Commission, for many of us, what does the Minerals Commission do?
Ronnie, good morning. Let me start by saying that we are a creature of the Constitution.
Okay.
So that speaks volumes of the premium the framers of the Constitution puts on the work of the Commission. Just like Petroleum Commission, Energy Commission, and the other commissions, fisheries and so. Fundamentally, our job is to regulate, manage the utilization of all the mineral resources of Ghana. Quite a big job. Huge tax. That's what we do. Regulate, manage.
So if you're the regulator of the mining industry, then for many people, it probably will be the reason why we have galamsey.
Oh, well, not necessarily. I will have a whole segment on illegal mining.
Okay.
You know,
We'll
a whole segment, maybe 2-3 segments on
illegal mining.
for us to understand everything around illegal mining, what government is doing, and co. We'll discuss that. It's something we can discuss between now and December.
Okay.
It's quite not an easy thing.
Okay, let's start with having an understanding about the profile of the minerals we have in Ghana. I'm sure that gold is popular. We all know about gold.
Oh.
Because of the recent issues, bauxite has also become popular. But front page of one of the papers today, I'm reading about iron ore in Oti region.
That's where I come from.
Oh, that's your region?
Yes.
Okay.
So the stakes are not just higher for the people of Ghana. You can imagine the people of T who have a CEO who is a regulator of the Minerals Commission. So it's not going to be easy.
So what's our mineral profile? What do we have?
First, let me start this way. Practically, all the 16 regions of Ghana have minerals.
Including Accra?
Yes. When I start breaking them down, you see that.
Right.
Or maybe let me add this second layer. In all the 16 regions of Ghana, you have mineral exploration and or mining going on. We'll take them one after the other.
Right.
When we were young, when we were attending school, we thought it's only maybe Eastern region, Ashanti, Western, North, Central, etc. But as they will say in Tree, baby, I had the cry extreme.
Up north?
Yes. Up north, yes, we'll come to that. But let me just give you a rundown of some of the minerals we have.
Right.
Of course, gold by far is the most popular. As I speak, exploration for gold and or mining is taking place in 13 regions.
13 out of the 16?
Yes.
Gold?
Yes.
Which three?
Greater Accra for now.
No gold.
No gold. Volta,
no gold.
and then Oti.
Oti, no gold.
But I've stumbled on some reports recently and things are popping up.
Where?
Oti.
About gold?
Yes.
The possibility?
Not that possibility. We'll come to that.
Okay.
But practically all the 16 regions of Ghana.
So you're saying Upper East, Upper West, Savannah, Northeast,
I will come to
Northern,
that.
They all have gold.
Where my minister comes from is even sweeter.
Damongo.
Savannah, the whole region, is full of minerals. So let's just take the minerals one after the other. So almighty good. In any case, if you take, I don't know, close to 100 minerals or more in the entire world or universe, it will interest you to know that the most half of the world's exploration budget worldwide goes to gold. So you see, if you have gold, you can see the attention on you. So gold, we have it in abundance.
Right.
We're not done yet. And then we have manganese. Manganese is found in western region around in Suta. And then exploration is going on for manganese in Savannah.
Savannah region.
Yes. So manganese. We have diamonds. We have bauxite. And then we have iron ore. Yes. And then we'll be discussing, as we discuss the other segment, the state of development or play for each mineral. Some are well advanced. Some over 100 years will be mining. Others we are just about starting. Others projects are quite far advanced. And then we also have a lot of industrial minerals. Sometimes they call them developmental minerals.
Which ones are these?
So, for instance, we have feldspar, we have kaolin, we have clay, we have sand. And not just sand that you just use for, what do we call it, this construction, etc. I'll tell you an interesting story. And that's why we are here to tell our story. You go to, is it in Chaban or whatever, somewhere in western region. Yes. There is a factory there. It's called Keda Ceramics. They make tiles. About 70% of the exports, their products are exported. They use 5 minerals: kaolin, clay, limestone, feldspar, and tack. So,
and all are found there?
All are found, scattered around Ghana, but in that particular area. This is a company that employs about 2,500 people. The West African, the gas pipeline, from our gas, whatever, it's in the heart of the place. They produce ceramics. So they export to Ivory Coast, Burkina, even Peru, etc. And my last check, they've crossed $100 million investment. That's a favorite place for the president. I think sometime in September or so, you go and commission another line. So this is what we need to be doing as a nation, the link between mining and industrial manufacturing. There's so much to say about that. So limestone, the entire Krobo area is full of limestone. Where our vice president comes from, Northeastern, it's also full of limestone. You go to Buipe, there's limestone there. That's the Savannah I'm talking about. So there's limestone, there is feldspar, there's kaolin, there's clay, etc. You go to Volta region, they have a lot of clay, which is very good to be used to add to this cementing that they do. So by and large, these are some of the minerals we have. And then we are beginning to see huge discoveries and deposits of the so-called battery minerals. So lithium is all over the place.
We heard about lithium recently.
Yes, lithium is, discoveries have been made, and there are areas that are very prospective for lithium. So we are beginning to emerge as a destination where people are now looking for lithium. So you go to South Pond, Central region, that area, it's full of lithium. Winneba, all those belts is full of lithium.
Recently, there was some controversy around the Winneba
That has
area.
been resolved.
Okay.
That has been resolved.
Okay.
It's not a project will go ahead.
Okay.
You can't just do any mining without talking to the chiefs and people. So once the people say no, there's nothing you can do. So that is that. And so close to 10, 15 minerals and more. We find more all the time. Recently, a company in Upper West that has been exploring for gold chanced upon graphite.
So it means you've licensed companies that are mining up north?
Yes.
Since when?
Oh, maybe since you were born.
Mining up north?
Yes. Mining
licensed?
Yes. Exploring mining. There are 2 ways in which you get into the mining business. You normally pick up some kind of approval, authorization, or a mineral right, what we normally call prospecting, to look for the mineral. It normally starts with reconnaissance, where it's not. The difference between reconnaissance and prospecting is that reconnaissance, there's no intrusion, no excavation, you don't dig, you don't pit, you don't trench. Basically, this airborne survey, etc., to just see what is there, give you some idea. A year or 2, you need to convert to prospecting. Prospecting, where you really do this trenching, pitting, you dig these holes, etc. And then over the years, if you're able to, identify what exactly you have, and then you apply for another right to now mine, which is called a mining lease. So that is that. So practically almost everywhere in Ghana, you have minerals in abundance. Yes. And trust me, I think those guys who left shortly before I came, you had a gentleman from the vice president office saying, yes, mining is a DNA of Ghana.
How?
Well, let me give you a
But
few.
as far as some of us are concerned, it's been a curse than a blessing.
No, I disagree.
When we see the Galamsey activities,
I disagree.
Why do you
If you
disagree?
like,
Yes.
let us now decide that henceforth today no mining in Ghana and see what will happen.
What will happen?
Eh?
What will happen?
That will be the end of the country.
How?
Let me show you a few statistics.
Please do.
2020. If you look at Bank of Ghana figures, it says the what do you call it? Whatever left this country, export receipts. That's about $14.4 billion. Mining $7 billion. So 48% of the merchandise, receipts for the entire country.
That's about half.
Yes, came from mining. Gold alone, 6.7 billion. You can't tell me it's a curse. It's a discussion we'll have. Whether it's a curse, whether we've not done it very well, we could do better. We can have 2-3 discussions on that. So when I say mining is a heartbeat, that is it. Now, let me also say this. Last year, 2021, again, it moved from 14.4 billion to 14.7. If you look at the record from Bank of Ghana, it says 7 billion minerals. I think last year it fell to 5.2 billion. And gold alone accounted for $5 billion. We're talking about dollars. The reason for the drop is essentially the smuggling that took place. But I think government has fixed that now. So that's our DNA. That's our heartbeat.
Smuggling?
Yes, there was smuggling of small scale.
Why?
Product. We'll come to that.
Okay.
So these are the minerals. So to wrap up, gold, manganese, bauxite, diamond, and then now graphite, lithium, a host of industrial minerals, limestone, clay, feldspar, kaolin, a whole lot.
We're going to dig up the entire country.
Well, it's not a matter of digging up the entire country. The question is, how do you do it to benefit the current generation and generation unborn? That is what.
But we've not done a good job with gold.
That is not the case.
Really?
Are you aware we are net exporter of skills?
Yeah, but we've not done a good job. We look around us, the devastation.
Well,
yes, you're mentioning all the figures, but we
Yes.
see the devastation.
Yes,
we see what mining is doing to this country.
So?
It's devastating this country. I mean, even water, potable water, is affected many places.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that we have a whole discussion on illegal mining and then impacts on mining and what government is doing to address it.
Because I raise this issue because there are people, including, let's say, if my memory serves me right, Dochini, who believe that, look, if we cannot be able to regulate this thing properly and manage it properly, it might as well stay there.
Yeah, to some extent that is true. But then you see, let's ask ourselves. I didn't want to digress or what, and then still of course, but just to tell you about this illegal mining thing. I'm just 52 years. I was born and bred in Newtown, Accra, Newtown. So I speak,
Lagos Town.
Yeah, Lagos Town. I didn't know what is bottled water.
Yeah.
Bottled water. No, we're just drinking from the normal pipe. Today, I'll be a bit hesitant in drinking anything that is not bottled water. But even the bottled water, where do you get the water? Is it not the same Brim, Tano and Co. that they dam and then the water company treat? And then water company says that what? It is costing us several. Again, you see utility, this thing has gone up. Yes, because it's costing the water company several times more to treat the same quantity of water, maybe a few years ago. So it is very simple. Why will you enter the water body to go and mine? Why will you do that? It's not about politics, and this is something we shouldn't do politics with. Okay? Why will you get up and go to the the Brim, Tano and Co. and say, for me, I'll go and put some structure there and then dig up the silt, and in most cases divert the course of the river, and then just to get good? Why will you do that?
I want to make money. The regulator is sleeping or is conniving.
No, that is not how we make money. Look, let me tell you something. As we speak, the same government has taken taxpayers' money, brought in machines, about 100 of them, which an average small-scale miner cannot buy. That's why he goes to the Chinese man. So government says, we have some lands available, approach Minerals Commission, we'll parcel out the place for you, and then I will graciously give you a machine. Go and work and then pay it, like we say in our small, what the Ghanaian typical parlance, work and pay. If you don't want this, what else do you want government to do? If you don't want this, come we'll give you a place. Not the kind of thing they are doing there. You can see the picture there. And why will you do that? You understand that? Yes. And the small scale people say, okay, we don't have a place to work. Then government says, we'll get you a place. Even government now has raised money to say, some of the areas, we're going to put in money, get geological survey to do the exploration, which they have started. We're going to give some support to UMAT to do the exploration. Because you see, this is what happened typically for small scale. So let's say this studio. The small scale gets up, just by intuition or whatever, and then he starts digging. If you like, try your luck or try an error. Okay? So if he's lucky, he hits the vein, then that's great. Then he starts mining. The alternative is also to invade the concessions of the large scale people, those who are doing prospecting. And then before you realize, 5 people, 10, and then you have thousands of people there. In fact, there are a couple of good places. But where do you start from? Now, if let's say this is a 25-acre concession, and then maybe let me take it from a different angle. If it's just a matter of allocating a place for the small-scale miners to work, we will solve Galamsey today. Because practically the entire Ghana is empty. If it's just a matter of allocating blocks or designated areas for them, then Galamsey is resolved. Maybe except the water body. So what do? You need to do exploration, and that costs millions of dollars. Because look, I'll tell you an interesting story in Western region. There's a company that got overwhelmed by, illegal mining. So what they did was that they graciously surrounded that area to us and said, look, we've been doing exploration here, but I think the way the small-scale miners have invaded the place, we want to return the place to government so that you license it for them. And normally when the companies surrounded the area, it comes to what we call a surrender report. The work they've done, where the gold is found, where it's located, and where we should concentrate. Then I sent the district officer of Minerals Commission to go and do a report by surveying the place. Can you imagine? And this is very interesting. Listen to it carefully. So, if the report that has been surrounded by the mining company shows that the gold vein is here, just in front of me here, the same area, the small-scale miners are digging that side.
Because
what does that tell you?
Try and error.
Try and error. All the same, they are getting some, not feel. You see, so it tells you that geological investigation is so important, it's so critical. Okay? Now government says, I have to do it. So they've given us some money, we're giving it to geological survey, and they are doing it. It will take some time, anything between 6 months to 1 year, and then we'll give them out. Other than that, the areas we are currently giving to the small-scale miners are the areas the large-scale people have given us, and we have to commend them for that. Yes.
So back to your commission. We are dealing with this issue specifically with gold, a lot of Galamsey activities. Now you tell me that there virtually are minerals in all 16.
Yes.
And you've spoken about where we can find many of these things. Does the Minerals Commission have the requisite capacity to regulate in all these areas, looking at what just gold has done to us? And I won't be surprised if by virtue of this interview we're having, somebody's perhaps digging their kitchen in Accra now to see if they can find something, because the CEO says there's
a whole town. There's a whole town in Ashanti, they dig their house
for gold.
Yes. When there was a ban on small-scale mining, they were digging their houses.
Lock the doors.
They still do it. They are indoors. So how will you know?
Do you have the capacity?
We have
to regulate.
We have the capacity to regulate. Now let me tell you the reforms that have taken place the last 2 or so years.
Okay.
In the past, the commission was not able to reach everywhere. Then all of a sudden realized that look, the miners are everywhere. So we also have to be everywhere. I mean, visibility is very important. So now we are in all the regions. We are in almost all the districts where mining takes place. As we speak, we've hired close to about 40, 50 inspectors. Most of them mining engineers, and we put them on the ground. So capacity, yes. This is a country that has sport skills, mining skills. So the capacity is there. In the past, we only have an office in Wa. So the gentleman in Wa takes care of he takes care of the whole Upper West region. Now, Tinga, a major hub for small-scale mining.
Where?
Tinga. It's not far from Bole.
Okay.
Yes, all those areas, they are doing small-scale mining. So yes, we
licensed.
Yes, licensed, and then of course the illegal guys who are also there. Yes, especially in the north, it's mainly rock. Okay, alluvia is not that common, so it's a bit localized. So that is easier.
What's the difference?
Oh, the difference, you know, the alluvia one normally takes place along water course or close to the water body. Yes.
So the rock ones have to be blasted.
Yes, if explosives, etc. It's quite localized. You see, within an area, they go underground. Yes, some are also open pits, etc. So right now, almost every district office has a new pickup. Because you expect him to move around and do inspection. The entire commission or the district is connected to the internet 24/7. So you don't have to have people to physically come to the commission and make an application. So you can submit an application online Saturday, Sunday. We will see it. So we've been able to shorten the licensing process.
The integrity of your officers has been called to question.
Well,
that look, they are there and the things are happening. They can only be either conniving or sleeping on the job.
Not necessarily. If you go to an area where you have a whole community doing community mining, it's not easy to just get up and evict them. And then look at the dimension.
But do they send those reports to you?
Oh, they send a report to us.
For say reinforcement
no, but
or something.
How do you think the security agencies, when they go to go and evict these people, how do you think?
Media exposes?
No, not necessarily. Our these officers bring us a report. Okay, we know all the areas. And then we relay this to the security agencies. And now, you cannot necessarily blame the officer because the Galamsey people are now carrying arms. You understand that? Yes, you saw the Chinese people that have been caged recently. Yes, they carry arms. So how do you send a Minerals Commission district officer to go? In the past, they go when the thing didn't get out of hand or has not gotten to this level. And then they say, look, gentlemen, you can do this, stop it, come for license. They do come, and then we regulate them, we give them a license. Then enter the Chinese. Okay, I think the previous government also, they deported about 4,000 Chinese. Okay, so the Chinese came, and then all of a sudden...
We invited them.
Yes, and are you telling me, okay, are you telling me that all over Ghana, the villages where you don't see the Chinese there?
They're there.
Yes, so the chiefs accept them, the community accept them. When we even go to go and arrest them, they resist. The community supports them, some community. And some areas, they complete very well. There are some areas in Ghana where there are minerals, you cannot just go and enter. If you go, they will tell the entire community, and we have to applaud them for that. They will tell you, if you don't bring your documentation, we will not allow you. And even when you bring the documentation, the chiefs, there are chiefs who troop to Minerals Commission, our offices, original offices, and then say, look, we've seen these documents, are they genuine? Do we know these people? Come and explain to us. So while some villages and some areas are cooperating very well, and they are helping us with the fight, other areas, they've just rolled red carpet for them. Yes. You see, how do you accommodate the Chinese and he's doing Galamsey? Even now, they are having children with the locals. Okay? So you are beginning to see a lot of Chinese
economic
Ghanaians.
Considerations.
Well, that is not the case.
Nana Akumia, the MD of STC, he tells us a story. He comes from Insutem.
Yes.
Before Chibi.
Yes.
Yes. And he tells us about the rivers there when they were kids, they go there and all that, the farmlands. And that now all those farmlands have become Galamsey pits because they look at how much they make from the cassava and corn that they plant as against what Galamsey is bringing them. And the people are virtually giving up all the lands for Galamsey activities.
Randy, let's clarify this. The government is not against small-scale mining.
Okay.
Let me tell you something about small-scale mining which will shock you and perhaps the general public. Small-scale mining for gold takes place in 13 regions.
For gold?
Yes, about 13 regions. There are between 3 to 5 million people in small-scale mining.
3 to 5 million?
Yes, direct and indirect.
Okay.
So let me just explain. So you see, you go to a typical small-scale site, and then you find, let's say, 50 people or 40 people there in the pit working. I'm talking about a typically lawful area, or even an area that is Galamsey site. Okay? You will see a lady there who has mounted a food joint, selling banku, fufu, or any other thing. You see the ice water seller there. You see somebody who's providing transport services. Okay? That lady who is selling that food, that goes to that site, except their so-called breaking day, she is there because of the miners who are working. So you have to count her when you are counting the people that are working in the mining sector. It's the same thing. There are a lot of people who don't have licenses, but they provide support services. So if you're a contract miner, for example, and you do contract mining for Gold Fields or Ashanti, you are also in the mining sector. You understand that? And then where she goes to get the cassava or the plantain for the fufu, that Auntie Mansa knows very well that maybe this person will be coming for plantain. Do you understand? So it's a whole chain together. It's not so when you touch one person, you touch everybody. The argument of the commission, the position of the government is that this can be done and done properly. The gentleman who was declared the best small-scale miner last year, and this year we're going to do another one. We normally give them the so-called gold catcher as their present. The guy has been mining the same site for 17 years. Okay? You go to an area called, it's in Japa, Western region there. He's been mining the same area for 17 years. He has all the 3 requisite approvals. He has a license, he has an APA permit, he has operating permit or what they call digging permit for the Chief Inspector of Mines. 17 years mining the same place. Well done. We go with supervising.
A Ghanaian.
Yes, it's Ghanaian. Small scale for Ghanaian. And then he's even doing CSRs for the community. That is the way to go.
But we're told there are Ghanaians who are just fronting for foreigners.
Oh, but it's not only in mining. They front for foreigners everywhere. And the only way we can kick out this canker. You see, what I don't want is for us to think that nothing can be done. As for the water body, you can go there. Okay? Now, or what we've been doing over the years is that we get the signals, the information is relayed to the security agencies, they go and clear them. And then after a month, weeks, they come back. You do that, they come back. So now, after we sat down, government had decided, look, we got to find a permanent solution to this cat and mouse game where you go to the prayer, you go and remove them, they come back. You go to Tano, they come back. Blackwater, they come back. So now permanent patrols. That's how come government brought the book.
Yesterday we saw
so
pictures of you and the deputy minister.
After the operations to now clear them from the Ankobra and then the Ofin and Co. Now the Navy is behind there now. Permanent. They are there. They'll be doing the patrol. True. That's the only solution. I cannot think of any other solution. So as for the water bodies, we need to protect them. And then on our part, we need to get them more areas for them to work. And we are saying, come for the place, we'll give it to you. Government has given us money to bring in gold catcher, commissioned by president.
How is it? You make it sound like an easy process.
It is not. Yes, it's an easy process.
What's the process?
Well, the process is that you can come to the Minerals Commission and say you are looking for a place. Typically, they come with their own coordinates. So we run it by the
How do they get it?
Oh, they go to the field and pick it. You get a surveyor and pick it. Some also do
your district officers?
Yeah, no, they do it themselves. The miners do it themselves. Okay? So
without a geological survey?
Oh, some do, yes, without geological survey. Normally it happens in 2 ways. The miners themselves show up with their own coordinates. Okay? Or they come and say, look, I found this here, I want to mine, I want you to check it for me. So when we check the place is free, we ask the officer to go and do inspection. Because you see, it's one thing the place being free, and it's another time saying you can mine the place. Because if it's a hilly area, close to a water body, Ramsar site, the place is hydrologically sensitive, it's free on paper, but we cannot allow you to mine there. That is it. But if he brings his own coordinates, we check it's free, we do it for him.
Free as in?
Free in the sense that nobody has any other license over the place.
What about a geological survey to show that there is something there or not?
Well, that is what the government is doing now. And then funds have been released to geological survey and human to get that done. Yes.
Because I asked that question because there's a possibility that somebody could just go and dig and they won't find anything.
Yes, and that's what we want to discourage. Because you see, once they dig, he doesn't find anything.
And they don't do reclamation.
They don't do reclamation. And then if it's just a matter of saying, oh, this is a block cut area or a designated area, go there, he will start digging maybe a month or 2 or a few weeks, then he leaves. They'll be doing a try and error. So what we are saying is that the permanent solution to this try and error thing, which is also devastating the landscape, is to invest heavily in geological investigation. And we need close to about $50 million or more to do these things. That's a lot of money. But we have to do that. We have no choice. If we want to stop, excuse me to say, like you said, this nonsense. That is one. So that is ongoing now. So within the next 2-3 years, you see we having very solid data. But for now, the landscape people are giving us the areas that they don't need. Some of them have found very good minerals, but it is not big enough for like what they want. So they surrender the reports, and we give Ashanti, for example, AGC. They've given about 70% of their area to us, and then we are giving it to them.
70%?
Yes, 70% of their land holdings. Yes.
Boise.
Yes, with the data and all those things. And then the place has been licensed. Yet the small scale miners want more.
They want more than the 70?
Yes, they want more. Now they want to enter
the 30.
Yes, they want to enter. We cannot allow that. The company has been very gracious. You saw what happened recently. Yes, we can't allow that. Okay, they've done a lot. So we are looking at other areas too. These places that I talked about that has been surrounded. So what I want you to understand, or the general public want to understand, is that this is not something that can be resolved overnight. But for the water body, don't
so
go
we
there.
keep speaking about water bodies, but when this Galamsey fight came up, we discovered something. That driving around, you see these huge thick forests, you know these are forest reserves.
Yes.
But when this whole Galamsey thing came up, we discovered that inside those thick things we see are just devastated, felled trees. What I mean is that the forest reserves have been invaded, and your commission and the Forestry Commission have been called out as enablers of this particular thing. So it's not just about the water bodies. We're told that our forest reserves are also completely gone. There's serious mining in them.
Well, yes, that is true to some extent. I cannot sit here and deny that, because some of the forests are just by the communities. So they go in there and go and do all that stuff. The only thing is to flush them out. Why will you allow it?
No, but if you're conniving, you won't flush them out.
When you say conniving, what happens? For instance, look at the water body. People go there 2 a.m. when everybody is asleep. They go there 2 a.m. So the only solution now is to let the Navy be there.
So some of these companies that are mining, some of these people who are mining in the forest reserves claim to have licenses.
No. Randy,
Yes.
I want you to, get the issues properly.
Okay.
There are companies, large-scale companies, that are properly mining forest reserves. Those have posted bond, they have an arrangement with Forestry Commission, they will reclaim. Okay?
So
For example, if you take
so mining can be allowed in a forest reserve.
Oh, but Ghana bauxite,
Yes.
that place is forest. Parts of Chirano's property is forest. Parts of Nimotavo property is forest. And there are arrangements and protocols that govern how these things should be done. Okay, they have offset, they replant another area, they reclaim, etc. They do that, and it's neatly being done. At an appropriate time, if people want us to go around and see how the large-scale people are doing, we'll do it. But these ones you are talking about, they are illegal people who just get up and invade the forest. Okay, what is the solution? Kick them out, arrest them and prosecute them.
But why are you not doing that?
Well, as I said, once we get the information, once we get the intelligence, we give it to the security agents. They just these operations on the PRA and then on Cobra. Now we have decided that they have to stay behind. Okay? Because when you move them, they come back. When you move, they come back. When you clear them, they come back. So the Navy people right now, if they leave, they will come back. That is how recalcitrant. And then the hard truth is also, some of these Galamsey people have stopped what they are doing, and now they've come the mainstream. They've come for licenses, and they are now happy, no wahala. But there are some people, for them, whatever the case, they will still go there. Yes. And the only thing is to just confront it headlong. Keep the boots there. Put the Navy people there permanently.
At whose expense?
Well, that is what it has come to.
So it's the state.
Yeah, all of us. That is why we are saying that everybody must support this fight. Okay? Let's say you sit here, I can see a cup there. I don't know whether it is tea or whatever. You know where the water is coming from, you think it's treated, but then the treated water came from some of these water bodies. Do you understand that? And then you're going to have a lunch, or you took your breakfast, the food that you took, do you know where it's coming from? I got even alarmed when I heard Dr. Okuboy saying that if you're not careful, hey, we'll spend all our budget on this dialysis because people will develop kidney problems. Yeah. Is that what we want to do? Okay? Malaria is already a problem for us. And then we want to add and use Ministry of Health budget and buy dialysis machines all over. We cannot allow that. For the water body, we cannot allow it. Okay? The fear was that when the military or the security agencies go and flush them, maybe they will behave like a normal human being, if you like, for want of a waterbed, and not go there again. But we realized that it was not working. And then they devised this strategy of going there. They normally go between 11 p.m. Okay? And then by 4 a.m. they are out. And then they sit down in the community, relax. And then they'll just wait to go again in the evening. And then let's ask ourselves, some of these things happen in the full glare of the security. What do you call it? The community, the chiefs are there. Even the district, chief executive, they see some of these things. Some of them have been flashing them out. Others are struggling to contain the situation. You can go to some areas, a whole community. Okay, so that is it. For the water body, they still remain red zones. Water body, forest, the only thing, unless somebody wants to tell me that he has a superior solution to it, for the water body, permanent presence is a solution. And then, as a government or a regulator, what must we do? Now, those who want to work responsibly, we get them a place to work. And we are saying, places are available, come, we will let you work. We will give you machine.
So they go to the district office or they come to Accra?
No, they can go to the district office. The district office, they can go to the regional office, they can come to Accra. Wherever you go, we'll assist you.
Okay, so one of our viewers, TTB Talency, says, kindly ask CEO about the Talency mine. How can the community benefit from the mine? We know of Shanji, now called L International Mining Company, and Cardinal Mines.
Yes, let me explain. Yes. I think in my introductory remarks or opening statement, I told you that even in the northern areas are the new frontiers. There is this big mine that is coming up in Talency. Very big mine. It could rival Obuasi and Co.
Really?
Oh yes, very big mine. It's not any small mine.
Really?
Yes. It will take close to about $500 million to construct. And they've started. So within 2 years, we will see the mine being commissioned. For us, and I keep saying this, our primary aim is to make sure not to repeat the mistakes of the South in the North. Why? Because ecologically, the North is very fragile. They have one farming season, as against the South, drier. And then remember also that in the South, if you go to most of the cocoa green areas where they have a lot of mining, I mean, they do plantain, they do cassava, they do all kinds of foodstuffs. Okay? But in the North, there's some kind of limitation as far as what they grow is no concern. So that is our first priority. And the minister keeps saying this. Don't let us repeat the mistakes. 100 plus mining in the South, in the North. So that's one big area. Now, how would the community benefit? Local content. My favorite topic. Okay, we just commissioned a resettlement scheme for them. I think that was commissioned by the minister.
Talency.
Yes, about 2 weeks ago. The community has been resettled because you have to do that. So that has been done. They have all the facilities, modern equipment, etc. For now, they have about 1,000 workers. Most of them are from the community. So we have to make sure that one, they sign community development agreements and then provide. You see, once you get into mining, you need to support the community. You have to do that. And then even provide scholarships. The other day I heard they've even sent some people from the community studying at the university in UMass. Clearly, that gentleman doing mining engineering has a job. So that is our job, and we'll do that. That's a Talency one. And then if you go to Upper West, there's also Azuma Resources, which by the end of the year or early next year, they also start construction. So we just have to make sure that the right thing is done. And then the companies must support. In the North, for instance, one of the beautiful things we are pushing the mining companies to do is to support the development of agriculture. Okay? You have to sign an agreement with them every year and say every year you set aside so much to support the community. So they will have to tell you what they want. If it's agriculture, you have to provide it. If it is scholarship, you have to provide it. If it's a top-up to government support, you have to do it. So if government has put up a clinic and then they say, look, we'll need a bungalow for the doctor because he came and he's gone, there's no place for him, the community can provide that. So this resettlement, for example, there's a clinic, we'll provide doctor, we'll provide all the drugs, etc. So these things are going. Trust me, we will do that. We will make sure around the Talency area and then the Nadoli Kali where Azuma is operating, we don't repeat the fallouts of 100 plus mining that we've seen in Central region, Eastern region, and Co in the
But you
South.
said the Galamsey people are there already.
Yeah, they are there, but the situation in the North is not like in the South.
Okay.
We're trying to get a place for them. A place called Bongo. We have just sent them the machine, and we are just preparing the place for them to mine responsibly. They are all happy. Okay, we'll go there and launch it for them. If we leave it, they will do Galamsey. But this is an area where let me give you the best example. There's a place called Bongo Shrine. Okay, the community people on the ground, about 50-40, they were doing just illegal mining. Illegal to the extent that they don't have all the requisite approvals or papers. Then the chief walked into my office. I know him. He said, we have these coordinates. We want to do, what do you call it, mining responsibly and safely. What did I do? I checked the cadastre. I sat with him. 5 minutes, we can tell you the results. It's like the lab test. And then I told him it is for a company. We got down, negotiated with the company, and then we got the place carved out. We have sent them the gold catcher. Okay? The agreement is about to sign. I said they should come tomorrow and sign it. And then they are putting up the structure. They are happy. Okay? So we have moved them from the realm of illegality to mainstream now. And that's the kind of thing we are doing all over the country now. Other than that, they were doing illegal. Okay? We didn't send the security to go and collect them now. And they are happy people. The chief says, look, we can now work all year round. Okay? So December, January, February, March, which is dry there, they can have something to do and mine. Once they have water, no mercury. That is the way to go. Okay? That's it. And I'm so happy for them. The same thing, Tinga, a Canadian company, surrounded the place. We did it. And then we took the machine there. So the people of Tinga, they are hearing me. These are things you can verify. They have a gold catcher. They were even the first to get it. Bongo, they were the first to get it. So both Bongo, Stroy, and Tinga, they were doing it illegally. Now, the place has been given to them. Government has given them gold catcher. So like we say in Chi, we open then.
All right. Okay, so speaking about the security and monitoring and all that, as we wrap up, one of our viewers is raising the issue of using technology.
Oh, yes. Let me
so it says, why don't we use high-tech solutions such as satellites that can monitor 24/7 instead of humans, which will be costly in the long run?
Now, Parliament graciously passed a law. We call it the tracking regulations. If you like, let's go to the Minerals Commission right now, which is 10 minutes from here. The control room, is being set up. Okay? So every earth-moving equipment will be fitted with, a tracking device, and then we'll see where it is. Then we also have the drones that will be flying and be picking all those things. So it's on course. And within the next 1 month, you see action. When we launch the place, the general public, it will be open to the general public, you see. So like a typical airport security, we are here. We can watch carefully. And then so every small scale mines, the license holder who has a license, the machines there will be fitted with a tracking device. So if you bring an equipment that has not got this device, it will just be confiscated. Even if you move out of your license area, the machine will stop operating. So the technology is on course. But, in a month or two, before you get down ready, you have to stop them.
Okay.
And so tell them, I'm telling everybody, come to the Minerals Commission. We'll get you a place to work so that you can mine safely and responsibly in an environmentally very friendly manner. We'll give you gold catcher. We still have some there. Go and work, and then you pay over 2-3 years. That is the way to go. But for the water body, if they are hearing us, the soldiers will always deal with them.
All right. I'm very proud of Mr. Ayisi. He was my teacher at sixth form. I'm not surprised the CEO of the Minerals Commission. I'm confident he can transform the entire sector he heads. I wish him well. Do you remember somebody you taught in sixth form called Robert Coleman?
Yes.
Okay.
I taught him, I was a teacher for 10 years. Okay. I taught A-level job and A-level government and GP. Later on, SSS. Then I went to study law. Yes.
He's now building astroturfs.
Yes.
Maybe your mining companies can build some for the communities that they operate in.
Oh, yes. I think the mining companies are doing they are doing it. They are putting up astroturf, they are doing roads and doing all kinds of things. Before maybe we'll wrap up, if I still have time, there's one thing that I want everybody to know. When I started appearing on Asempa and GTV, then people realized that, not knowing mining is that big. All they thought was that, companies are living in some bush somewhere. They employ a few hundreds of people and then pay royalties and taxes to government. But then when we started discussing local content, which will start shortly, maybe in the next week or two here, then you see just a few statistics. 2019, direct and indirect taxes to government, the republic as a state, is just about $1 billion. Okay? All the taxes the companies pay, that's the report. Local content, $2.6 billion. Yes. Okay? So that money went to government. Okay, that's fine. But then $2.6 billion was spent on procurement because they buy all kinds of stuff. In the past, they were importing. As a young lad, some company wanted to even bring bottled water. But now all these things are dying. So our job as a regulator is to ensure that, for example, this 7 billion that was spent, okay, that we got as receipts from mining, how do we capture, how do we retain the value here? Some of those monies went out to go and pay loans contracted to build this mine. So the question we should be asking ourselves, what we should be doing is that, shouldn't it be possible, and the law backs us, that this $500 million that is needed to build this Talensi mine should be raised locally? Okay? I mean, there's a company that has raised over $100 million locally. But you see, when we don't give education to the public, they will not know. Azuma. So between Kaduna and Azuma, that's almost about $700 million. If we can get the money to be raised here on the stock market, or by even individuals, or even hedge funds and then private equity firms, then you don't have to repatriate $700 million with, interest back to Australia or Canada or to any investment bank in UK. That's our job.
That makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. And then the value will stay here.
Right. Okay, so Mr. Ayisi, we would have to end it here today. Next Thursday, you'll be here at 9:30 for our conversation. But next Tuesday, you'll be on original 91.9 FM at 3 p.m.
And that's the local language.
Yes,
it's all right. My tree is not bad.
Yes. So you'll be there every Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
With Pato, and then we'll be here Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. So thanks very much. It's been insightful, and thanks for watching as well. And make a date. Every Thursday we'll be here. Every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on original 91.9 FM.